Welcome back to the English podcast session. I'm John.
And I'm Amelia. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us can relate to: loneliness and modern isolation.
A heavy topic, but an important one. We'll discuss why loneliness is so common today and what we can do about it.
Plus, stay tuned for a short story and a quiz at the end. Let's jump in.
So, Amelia, let's start with the basics. Why do you think loneliness has become such a big issue?
Great question. I think a big part of it is the way our lives have changed. Technology has connected us like never before, but it's also replaced face-to-face interactions.
That's true. Social media can give the illusion of connection. You've got hundreds of friends online, but how many would you call in a crisis?
Exactly. It's quantity over quality. Plus, our fast-paced lives make it harder to nurture deep relationships.
Right. There's also urbanization. Many people live in big cities but feel completely alone.
And studies back this up. Did you know that loneliness can have the same impact on health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day?
Whoa, that's alarming. It's a public health issue, not just an emotional one.
Let's talk about some of the psychological reasons behind loneliness. John, any insights?
Sure. One reason is our growing reliance on technology. It's convenient but can make us forget how to build meaningful connections.
Definitely. And then there's the culture of individualism. Many of us prioritize personal success over community.
True. It's a double-edged sword. Independence is great, but too much can isolate us.
And let's not forget about mental health. Anxiety or depression can make it harder to reach out to others.
Absolutely. And the pandemic didn't help. For many, it was the tipping point.
So, John, what are some ways we can tackle loneliness?
First, it starts with awareness. Recognizing that you're lonely is the first step.
Agreed. And once you're aware, take small steps to reconnect, like texting a friend or joining a local group.
Great tips. Volunteering is another way to meet people and feel purposeful.
And don't underestimate professional help. Therapy can provide tools to combat loneliness.
Also, practice being present. Sometimes, we are so distracted that we miss opportunities for real connection.
And what about building hobbies? Engaging in something you enjoy can introduce you to like-minded people.
That's a great point. Hobbies create common ground, making conversations easier and more natural.
Let's shift gears to a short story that highlights today's topic.
Great idea. Here's one. A young woman named Clara moves to a new city for her dream job. She's surrounded by people at work but feels invisible outside of it. One day, she decides to join a book club. Slowly, she starts forming meaningful friendships. By stepping out of her comfort zone, Clara builds a life full of connection.
Such a simple yet powerful example. Sometimes it just takes one brave step.
Exactly. Let's expand this idea. Think about small acts of connection. Smiling at a neighbor for asking someone how their day was.
Those little interactions add up. It's also about being approachable. People are more likely to connect if you seem open and welcoming.
Yes. And creating safe spaces for conversations can help too. Be someone people feel comfortable opening up to.
That's so important. And if you're someone who struggles with shyness, start with low-pressure environments like online communities or interest-based groups.
And speaking of interest groups, there are so many niche communities out there now. Whatever your passion is, there's probably a group for it.
Totally. And don't underestimate the power of reconnecting with old friends. Sometimes the solution is just reaching out to someone from your past.
Absolutely. And now, for our quiz question. Ready?
Let's hear it.
What's one major factor contributing to modern loneliness?
Oh, I'll answer this one. It's the overuse of technology, right?
Spot on. Technology, while helpful, can isolate us if not balanced.
Can we take that quiz concept a little further? Here's another question. What's one small action you can take today to feel less lonely?
I'd say reaching out to a friend or trying something new, like a hobby or local group.
Perfect answer. It really is about small, consistent steps.
That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the English podcast session.
And remember, loneliness isn't permanent. There's always a way out.
Stay connected, stay kind, and see you next time.